All right, joining me now, Republican Congressman from Arkansas and a member of the greatest committee in the House, the Financial Services Committee, French Hill. Good to see you, French. Obviously, I served on that committee with you, why I think it's the best committee in the House. All right, let me get your take, French. So you have President Biden celebrating this number and all the great work he's done to tackle inflation. Should he be celebrating a CPI number of 8.5%?
Sean, it's great to be with you. And of course, 8.5% is nothing to celebrate other than it's below 9%. Inflation is still persistent. Inflation expectations are still high. You just heard your excellent report of what real families are paying in real prices every day at the grocery store. And I've got constituents juggling between gas and groceries, trying to figure out how to make a mortgage payment, how to get clothes for kids for school. And as a result, you've seen credit cards charges surge as people try to bridge the gap with their 3% decline in real wages. This is hitting our families and hitting our families hard.
You know, French, I just got back from Wisconsin. I think I was paying $3.90 a gallon. So gas prices have come down, but, you know, over the last year, they're up significantly. Food prices are still up considerably. And so to your point, the fact is that American families are still getting crushed by inflation. And I wonder, what's the political consequence of that? Are they blaming Joe Biden in your district in Arkansas, or are they just saying, hey, listen, this is COVID?
No, they're blaming Joe Biden's policies of spending money like a drunken sailor. We're going back to Washington tomorrow night to spend more money, $750 billion more in spending, that will, over a 10-year basis, increase the budget deficit, just as we've done time after time under President Biden's leadership. That demand side stimulus is fueling inflation, while at the same time, we've got inflation still being fueled by a very accommodative Federal Reserve. So a family in Arkansas making $40,000 a year is paying nearly $5,000 more for the things that they buy every year for their family than last year. And that's what I hear from my constituents every single day. You
know, I think credibility matters in politics. You know this. You can't lie to people because, you know, they don't trust you then. And to call this bill of $700 billion of new taxes, a green new energy bill, to call it an Inflation Reduction Act, to your point, it's only going to drive inflation. But I think you see Wall Street celebrating, thinking that the Fed isn't going to raise rates, 75 basis points in their September meeting. Do you agree with that? Do you think the Fed is going to cool on their rate hikes, or are they going to march on?
I don't think they will. We had a fairly robust employment report, even though the job participation number was down. And 8.5% is still 4 times above their target. And inflationary expectations, as measured across the economy, are still calling for inflation to be over 6% a year from now. That should scare the Fed and cause them to continue to do their work to raise rates and curtail their accommodative policy. So I don't think so. I think the Fed's going to continue to do their job. They're well behind it, so they're trying to catch up now. And that's their job, and price stability is what our families need, because inflation is a thief. It takes money from particularly our seniors and those hardworking Americans on limited budgets.
You know, I think since you came to Congress, I sat by you in financial services, and whenever the Fed would come in to testify, you would warn them to go, listen, these policies are going to bring us inflation. They said, no, there's new models. That's not going to happen. Sadly, you were right for 6 years here calling this out. I want to get your take on a part of that bill, the $80 billion that's going to go to the IRS to drive more revenue into the federal coffers, or so the Democrats say. I would argue, and I want your opinion on this, I think that's just going to be used to target Republicans who might give to Republican candidates, or Republicans who might support Donald Trump, Republicans who might post something on social media. The IRS is going to be used to target conservatives, not Democrats. This is going to be a political witch hunt through the IRS. What say you?
This $80 billion is going to be used for enforcement, and 87,000 new agents to be hired. Now think about this. The total FTEs, the full-time equivalent positions at the IRS today, are 76,000. So we're going to double the workforce, add $80 billion in spending, right at the same time that we're trying to collect a 15% minimum tax and investigate every pass-through entity, which is most of small business. About 5 million small businesses are pass-through companies. Our farmers all are going to be subject to a locust of new IRS army of agents.
French, I don't know about you, but when I talk to people in Wisconsin or I look at polling, no one has said they want to see the IRS funded to the tune of $80 billion. That's the last thing on their list. It's not even on their list. And the fact that this is a priority for Democrats, absolutely outrageous. If you want to see great heat coming from a hearing, tune into C-SPAN and watch French Hill crush it in the hearings. He does a great job. French Hill, always smart. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean. All the best.
All right.